All right, today we're going to talk about Japan, but we're peeling back the curtain, you know? Looking past the usual stuff, the cherry blossoms, the high-tech cities, and diving into the surprising and honestly kind of contradictory truths of what it's really like to live there.
So you think you've got Japan all figured out. I bet there are a few things that are going to surprise you. Let's see. Okay, let's just jump right in with a few quick ones. Did you know that for a lot of people, the traditional Christmas Eve dinner is a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken? No joke. Or, how about this? That cool tattoo you have? It could get you banned from public pools, gyms, even hot springs. And get this, in Japanese schools, it's the students, not janitors, who are responsible for cleaning the classrooms every single day.
So let's start there, with the everyday norms. These are the little quirks and customs that show you just how deep some cultural beliefs run, shaping even the smallest parts of daily life. First up, a really fascinating superstition. So in Japanese, the word for the number 4, shi, sounds exactly the same as the word for death. Yeah, even though they're written differently, the sound is identical. This makes the number 4 super unlucky. This fear, called tetraphobia, is so real that tons of buildings just skip the 4th floor. They go straight from 3 to 5.
And this isn't just some casual superstition. It has a real-world impact. According to the British Medical Journal, this fear is so powerful that Japanese and Chinese people are actually 13% more likely to die from heart failure on the 4th day of any given month. Wild, right?
But on the flip side, daily life in Japan is incredibly safe. I mean, look at this. The homicide rate is just 0.2 per 100,000 people. Compare that to 5.3 in the US. You could leave your wallet on a train and odds are you'd probably get it back. There's this deep sense of social trust, and it's backed by a police force that solves an incredible 95% of homicides.
But with that safety comes something less modern. An almost painfully analog bureaucracy. Like moving to a new apartment isn't just about packing. Oh no, it is a full-on paper chase. You're running between your old and new neighborhood offices, getting documents stamped. The whole thing feels like it's straight out of 1985.
And this old-school vibe extends to something as basic as a signature. Instead of signing documents, people use a personal seal called a hanko. You might even need 3 different kinds, one for personal stuff, one for the bank, and another for official government business. It's literally a physical stamp in a digital world.
Okay, so those are some of the formal, written-down rules. But now let's get into the unspoken social rules. This is the stuff that governs everything from how you talk to people to, yes, how you use your chopsticks.
To really get Japan, you have to understand the difference between tatemae and hane. Tatemae is your public face. It's the polite, agreeable self you show the world to keep everything running smoothly. Hane, on the other hand, is your true, honest self, your real feelings, which you only show to people you're really close to. This is why saying no directly is a huge social faux pas. It's seen as disruptive. So instead of no, you'll hear things like, that might be a little difficult.
And this focus on harmony and respect extends right to the dinner table. There are some serious rules for using chopsticks. For instance, never, ever stick them upright in your bowl of rice. It looks like an offering for the dead at a funeral, so it's a major taboo. Also, don't lay them across your bowl because that means you're finished eating. And yet, pointing with them is just as rude as pointing with your finger.
All this consideration for others creates something you don't find in many places: public silence. Get on a packed subway train in Tokyo during rush hour and you'll be amazed. It's quiet. People just don't take phone calls or have loud chats. It's this unspoken agreement to respect everyone's personal space and peace.
But you know, this constant focus on group harmony and following unspoken rules, it creates a lot of pressure. So let's go a bit deeper into the more complex and sometimes darker paradoxes of Japanese society. This is where things get really interesting.
So Japan has a word that most languages just don't need: karoshi. It literally translates to death by overwork. The work culture can be brutally intense. Almost a quarter of companies expect their employees to put in 80 hours of overtime a month, and a lot of that is unpaid. It's like a corporate form of tatemae. You have to publicly show your commitment. There's this immense pressure not to be the first person to pack up and leave for the day. But here's the real paradox. For all those insane hours, Japan's productivity isn't even that high. It actually ranks a pretty low 29th out of 38 developed countries. The culture often values just being at your desk more than it values efficient work, which just leads to burnout.
And these pressures are taking a huge personal toll. A government survey in 2022 found that nearly half the population reports feeling lonely. That is a staggering number. You combine that intense work culture with financial stress, and you get a society where, for instance, 1 in 3 unmarried men has never even been on a date.
And then there's a major gender imbalance. In the 2024 Global Gender Gap Report, Japan ranked 118th in the world. Traditional gender roles are still very much in place. Studies show that working mothers do about 3.6 times more housework than their husbands, which, as you can imagine, makes it incredibly difficult for women to advance in their careers.
So, for our last section, let's just embrace the contradictions. We're going to look at some of the fascinating opposites that are just woven into the fabric of everyday Japanese life.
I think the biggest one for outsiders is the tech paradox. We picture Japan as this futuristic wonderland of robots and bullet trains. But then you get there, and daily life is full of paperwork, those honko seals we talked about, and a surprising number of shops and restaurants that are cash only. Even different government departments have computer systems that can't communicate with each other.
Japan is a society that is absolutely obsessed with cleanliness. It's amazing. Before a meal, you're always given a little wet towel, an oshibori. The streets are famously spotless. You'll almost never see litter anywhere. It's a culture that's deeply focused on hygiene and order.
But then you start to notice something really strange. For a place that's so clean, there are practically no public trash cans. Anywhere. The expectation is that you just carry your trash with you all day until you get home. It's this idea of personal responsibility for public cleanliness.
And these paradoxes pop up everywhere in social life. For example, there's a total openness about being naked with strangers in public hot springs or onsen. But at the same time, tattoos, which are often linked to organized crime, will get you banned from those exact same places. You'll see 6-year-old kids riding the subway by themselves, this incredible show of independence. But then that same society demands absolute conformity at school and in the office.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it's that Japan is this incredibly complex society, governed by unspoken rules and filled with deep, surprising contradictions. Daily life is this constant dance between ancient traditions and intense modern pressures. It's a powerful reminder that whatever you see on the surface of a culture, well, that's only a tiny piece of the story.
And that really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? Whether we're talking about Japan or any other place in the world, how much of what really makes a culture tick is ever truly visible to an outsider?